You know, there's something special about putting pen to paper. The way the ink flows, the slight resistance of the page, the quiet scratch of movement as your thoughts take shape. It's a feeling many of us grew up with. Writing letters, jotting down recipes, keeping diaries. But these days, between screens and keyboards, it's easy to let that habit slip away. And yet, what if I told you that picking up a pen again could be one of the simplest, most powerful things you do for your brain right now? Maybe you've noticed little things, a name slipping your mind, a word hovering just out of reach, or that quiet worry that your focus isn't as sharp as it once was. It happens to all of us as the years go by. But here's the good news. Science shows that writing by hand isn't just nostalgic. It's a workout for your brain, especially after 60. It strengthens memory, sparks creativity, and even helps keep your thinking nimble. And the best part, you don't need to write a novel or solve complex equations. Small, everyday moments with a pen can make all the difference. So today, let's talk about why this simple act is so powerful. And I'll share 3 easy, enjoyable ways to weave it back into your life. No pressure, no perfection required. Just you, a pen, and a few minutes here and there. Ready? Let's start with the first step. Think about the last time you wrote something by hand. Maybe it was a grocery list, a birthday card, or a note to remind yourself of an appointment. Even those little scribbles matter more than you might realize. When you write by hand, your brain isn't just recording information, it's engaging with it. Unlike typing, where your fingers tap the same keys regardless of the letters, handwriting forces your mind to slow down. Each letter requires a unique combination of movements, lighting up areas of the brain tied to memory, language, and even problem-solving. Researchers have found that seniors who write by hand regularly show better recall and sharper cognitive skills. Why? Because it's like giving your brain a gentle cross-training session. You're not just exercising memory, you're coordinating fine motor skills, sparking creativity, and anchoring thoughts more deeply. And here's the kicker. It doesn't have to feel like a chore. Let's talk about how to make it meaningful. First, reconnect with someone through a handwritten note. When's the last time you sent, or received, a letter in the mail? There's a warmth to it that texts and emails just can't match. Writing a letter forces you to organize your thoughts, reflect on memories, and express emotions in a way that's deliberate and personal. Plus, it's a gift to the recipient. Maybe it's a grandchild heading off to college, an old friend you've lost touch with, or even a neighbor who could use a kind word. Start small. You don't need fancy stationery or perfect grammar. Just grab a notepad and write a few lines. I was thinking of you today. Or, remember when we... Not sure what to say? Describe something you're grateful for, or a favorite memory you share. The act of writing it out will slow your mind, letting you savor the moment, and the person on the other end will treasure it far more than a quick text. Second, keep a gratitude journal by your bedside. This one's as simple as it sounds. Every night, or even a few times a week, take 5 minutes to write down 3 things you're thankful for. It could be something big, like a family gathering, or something small, like the way the sunlight hit your garden in the morning. The key is to write it by hand. Studies show that handwriting gratitude lists boosts mood and mental clarity more than typing them. Why? The physical act of writing helps your brain process positive emotions more deeply. Don't overthink it. Use a cheap notebook, a fancy journal, whatever feels inviting. If you're stuck, start with, "Today I smiled when," or "I felt lucky because." Over time, you'll not only strengthen your brain, you'll train it to spot joy in everyday moments. And on tougher days, flipping through those pages can be a powerful reminder of the good that's always there. Now, you might be thinking, but what if my hands ache? Or, my handwriting's gotten so messy? Here's the thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Use a pen that feels comfortable, write for just a minute or two, and let go of judgment. This isn't about calligraphy. It's about connection to your thoughts, your memories, and the people you love. And if you're feeling adventurous, there's one more method I'd love to share with you, a way to blend creativity with everyday moments. But let's save that for next time. For now, why not grab a pen and try one of these ideas today? Even a few sentences count. Your brain and your heart will thank you for it. You know, one of the most beautiful things about getting older is the wealth of stories we carry with us. Memories of days gone by, lessons learned, moments that shaped who we are. But here's the thing. Those stories aren't just for reminiscing over a cup of tea. They're alive, and writing them down can be like giving your brain a fresh burst of vitality. So let's dive into that third method I mentioned earlier, one that's equal parts creative, meaningful, and fun. Third, write your story, one snippet at a time. Now, before you think, "Oh, I'm no author," hold on. This isn't about crafting a best-selling memoir. It's about capturing moments, big or small, in your own voice. Think of it as leaving breadcrumbs for your future self, or your loved ones. Maybe it's a childhood memory, like the smell of your mother's kitchen on Sunday mornings, or a funny mishap from your career. Even a few lines about how you met your partner. Here's why this works. When you write stories, you're not just recalling facts. You're reconstructing scenes, emotions, and sensory details, which fires up multiple areas of your brain at once. It's like a mental time machine. Researchers have found that autobiographical writing can improve memory retention and even boost emotional well-being. And the best part? There's no right or wrong way to do it. Start with a prompt if you're unsure. Try something like, "The moment I felt proudest was," or "I'll never forget the time we." Keep a notebook handy, maybe by your favorite chair or next to the coffee maker, and jot down a paragraph whenever inspiration strikes. If your hands tire easily, use a thicker pen or pencil for better grip, and don't worry about neatness. This is for you. Now, maybe you're thinking, but what if I don't have anything important to write about? Oh, let me tell you. The small stuff matters most. That garden you nurtured for decades, the road trip that went hilariously wrong, the quiet Tuesday mornings with your grandchildren. These are the threads that weave the tapestry of your life. And writing them down does something magical. It helps your brain practice focus. Unlike scrolling through a screen where distractions bombard you, writing demands a gentle, sustained attention. It's like meditation, with a pen. And here's a secret. You don't have to share these stories unless you want to. This is your private space to reflect, laugh, or even vent. But if you do decide to pass them along, well, imagine your grandkids reading about your first job or how you navigated a challenge. That's a legacy no social media post can match. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Time. We all feel like there's never enough of it. But here's the beauty of writing by hand. It thrives in the cracks of your day. 5 minutes while the coffee brews, 10 minutes before bed, waiting for a phone call. You don't need a perfect hour of silence. In fact, those little pockets of time add up, and your brain loves the consistency. Think of it like watering a plant. Small, regular care yields growth. And if doubt creeps in, am I doing this right? Remember, there's no finish line. This isn't a test. It's a conversation with yourself. Misspell a word, scribble it out, change your mind mid-sentence, draw an arrow. The messier, the more human. What matters is the act of writing, not the product. So far, we've talked about reconnecting through letters, grounding yourself with gratitude, and preserving your story. But here's what ties them all together. Each of these habits pulls you into the present moment. In a world that's always rushing, handwriting is an anchor. It's a chance to slow down, listen to your thoughts, and remind yourself that your voice, your experiences, matter. And if you've dabbled in any of these ideas since we last chatted, give yourself a pat on the back. Every stroke of the pen is a step toward a stronger, more vibrant mind. But don't stop here, because there's one more layer to explore, a way to take all these pieces and weave them into something even more powerful. Something that doesn't just strengthen your brain, but fills your days with purpose and joy. So grab that pen again, my friend. We're just getting started. Isn't it remarkable how something as simple as a pen can hold so much power? Not just to capture words, but to reconnect us with ourselves, our memories, our joys, even our challenges. Over these last few moments together, we've talked about 3 beautiful ways to bring handwriting back into your life. Reconnecting with others through letters, grounding yourself with gratitude, and preserving your story one snippet at a time. But here's what I really want you to take away. This isn't just about writing. It's about living, with intention, curiosity, and a little bit of courage. Let's tie it all together. Think of these 3 habits as ingredients in a recipe. On their own, they're wonderful. A handwritten note to a friend, a gratitude list, a memory scribbled in a journal. But when you combine them, they create something greater, a daily practice that nourishes your mind, your relationships, and your sense of self. And the best part? You get to decide how much or how little to stir in. Maybe some days you'll write a letter and jot down a grateful thought. Other days, just a single sentence about the smell of rain on the pavement. It all counts. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but will this really make a difference? Let me share a story. A friend of mine, Martha, started handwriting her grocery lists after her doctor suggested it to help with memory fog. At first, she rolled her eyes. How's scribbling milk and bread going to help? But within weeks, she noticed something unexpected. She began adding little notes beside the items. Get the cinnamon bread. Jim loves it. Or, remember the summer we picked strawberries? Soon, her lists became tiny time capsules of her days. She told me, "It's not about remembering the groceries anymore. It's about remembering me." That's the magic here. Writing by hand isn't a chore or a test. It's a mirror. It shows you what matters. The people you love, the moments that shape you, the quiet joys that might otherwise slip by. And every time you pick up that pen, you're telling your brain, we're still in this. We're still growing. So where do you go from here? Start small. Keep it light. If you've already tried one of these ideas, wonderful. If not, choose the one that feels easiest. Maybe today, you'll write a single line in a journal. Today, I'm grateful for. Or maybe you'll dig out an old photo and jot down a memory it sparks. There's no deadline, no grading scale. This is your journey. And if you ever feel stuck, come back to this truth. Your voice matters. Your stories matter. The way you see the world, the wisdom you've earned, the love you've shared, the quiet resilience you've shown, it's all worth preserving. Not just for others, but for you. Every time you write, you're reaffirming that your life is rich, your thoughts are valuable, and your brain is capable of remarkable things at any age. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried writing a letter lately? Did a memory pop up that made you smile? Share it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you found this helpful, pass it along to a friend who might enjoy it too. After all, connection is what this is all about. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel for more conversations like this. And remember, growing older isn't about slowing down. It's about leaning into the things that make you feel alive. So go grab that pen, my friend. Your story's still being written, and I have a feeling the next chapter is going to be wonderful. Here's to you, and to every word, memory, and moment ahead.